Hey,
It's whatever.
is that even legal?
The electricity. What doesn't compute for me is this, and I need help understanding something. The electricity in that arena was literally through the roof. I couldn't believe how invested the fans were in the storyline, as we all were. We all were. And then the Avs do it perfectly. They trot him out there on the face-off, and he's honored, and he hits Rantanen. He
Blows
makes
him
an
up.
impact. Everybody's into it. But what I don't understand is with all of that fuel, that rocket fuel that energized the place, how did the Stars outplay the Avs from the get-go early in that period? How were you on your heels to start the game?
It's an excellent point. The Stars inflicted their will in the early going.
Why?
Now,
how?
They had 14 shots on goal in the first period, Vic.
Yeah.
Only a couple that I think were dangerous, but that is the MO of the Stars in Game 2 and beyond. So what they're doing, we'll talk all about it today, and I'll tell you exactly what the difference has been in this series. But what they're doing is they're playing a very simple brand of hockey. They are not trying to fancy it up. They are working, they are working, they are working. And they're just throwing stuff at the net and trying to create chaos, and they'll do it from anywhere. And I guess you could say it's working because they've got a 2-1 series lead.
They've led for 1
Yeah, they're not
minute.
exactly. That's why I say I guess you could say it's working. But at the same time, you're doing more to yourselves than they are doing to you.
Exactly.
They've
I've
led for 1 minute of game time over 3 games.
No, Vic, come on. It's 1 minute and 2 seconds. A minute and 2 seconds in 3 games, and they're up 2-1.
I will not be doing any excuse making today. I will not be doing any passe discussion on what the Stars got lucky with this.
Oh, no, the Avs power play needs to change. You can't go over 6. You can't go 4 minutes with, just feeble shot attempts. You can't do that.
They had 6 power plays last night. You had 7 total shots on goal.
That's crazy.
That is an issue. Now, the Stars, I'm going to give them credit because what they've done is they've become incredibly aggressive and they sell out all the time. And you think to yourself, there's no way that they can keep that up beyond 40 minutes, beyond 60 minutes, yet they find a way to do it. And they've learned to frustrate the Avalanche on the power play. That has to change. Has to change.
That number.
How does it change?
Vic, because you have one team that's brought their lunch pail and is just getting ugly. They don't care how ugly or pretty they look. And the other team, realizing that they've got a great deal of ability and skill on the team, Vic, you just need to throw it down to the front of the net and get ugly. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, this is playoff hockey, and Marty Necas does not look the same.
Jonathan Drouin's having some real
Drouin
issues.
does not look the same all of a sudden. There's some issues on that top power play that just you got to make changes.
Well, he tried it late. He threw Landy on there, didn't he? Late in that game. So I'm sure there's going to be more coming, but I mean that number is mystifying to me. In a game that you lose 2-1, the Avs had 6 power play opportunities and not a single one was converted, including a double minor at the end of the third period where you took, wasn't it 3.5 minutes into OT to start it?
3:21, correct.
But not a single time did it ever feel like you were really close.
No,
like,
there was. Who had the wide open net in overtime?
Well, there were 2 opportunities before the end of regulation. Ottinger was down and out. And Esa Lindell swept the puck out of the crease and away when Marty Necas was right there to put it in.
That was just a good play.
Now, it was a very good play by Lindell, and this guy is an absolute minutes horse. He just plays minutes and plays effectively and does the right thing seemingly every shift. But he was in the right place. Marty's on the side of the net. You've got to put yourself in the ugliness. If you don't want to be in the washing machine, then don't be on that unit, I guess, or don't be on any. It's easy for me to say because the puck bounced right into the crease, but Lindell was at the top of the crease, had basically obviously the better position to sweep it away. Arturi Lehkonen had it on his stick. He fired it, Vic, and it went off Lindell's glove and just kicked wide of the post. But you had two wildly good opportunities, and you didn't really bear down. You just kind of tried to – you hoped that it happened.
Mm-hmm. Playing Dallas, the history of playing the Dallas Stars, the pain of playing the Dallas Stars, it hurts. They are truly that cockroach. They are a cockroach. They're a pimple. They're that sleeve of celery stuck in your back molar. They just don't go away. They just don't go away. They find a way. They bother you. They pester you.
I'm not going to bring
you.
Yeah, they do. I'm not going to bring you fairy tales and rainbows today, but I'm also not going to be on the freak out side because I know a lot of fans are on the freak out side right now.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Brett, here's what's happened. You want a game in their building. They want a game in your building. Mm-hmm. Who took game one?
The Avalanche won game one of this playoff series.
Stars won game number 2 on their ice. You know what you do Saturday? You win a game on your damn home ice.
And it doesn't matter how either.
It
doesn't matter how.
Right, exactly right. Even this thing up and make it a best of 3, end of story.
Yeah, in fact, it's almost as if, it's funny how the Avs, Nuggets, Clippers, all the same. These games are decided by such a razor's edge. It's so close.
You know what it is, Vic? The Stars make mistakes. Let's not pretend they haven't made any mistakes in this series because they have. But what they're doing to you on the last, when you go back to game number 2, the turnover at the offensive blue line, right? Mm-hmm. What happens? It comes back the other way, chaos, goal.
Well, it's capitalizing on a mistake.
You turned the puck over last night on the offensive blue line. You got out muscled. And I'll credit Rantanen. I mean, he was much more noticeable last night than he has been in the 2 previous games. He's the one that out-muscled and got the puck out of the zone.
Yeah.
He just stuck with it and used his legs and used his big body to punish you and got the puck out. Fired ahead for Marchment. And Devon Taves played it right, and he bodied him up. Marchment's 6'5", and he's strong. He almost went down, but he didn't. He recovered enough to find a cutting-in Sagan. You're trailing on the play. You're back-checking. You're just a tad bit slow. And that's the difference. That one play is the difference in a playoff game, in a playoff series. I say it all the time. One play can decide series.
Sure it can.
And that's what happened last night. You've coughed the puck up, and they made you pay. And that's it.
Well, I think that's the difference in the series overall, Moj, is that it's not a lot of moments, but they've had a couple where you've made the mistake, they've capitalized on the mistake. I counted 6 mistakes where you had power play opportunities last night that the Dallas Stars made, including the worst one you could make. Tie game at the end of the 3rd period, and it's a double minor. You got 4 minutes of a power play to close the game out on your own home ice on a night like that, and you couldn't do it. To me, that's almost inexcusable.
Well, it's soul-crushing is what it is. I don't know how – I mean, this team has been through a lot inside that room, and they have great leadership, and they're going to discuss things. They're going to rationalize and say, this is where we are. All right, let's just go play our – I mean, this is not an undoable situation. But that being said, you had it on your tape. A prime golden opportunity to make them pay.
Yeah.
And you simply didn't do it.
Yep. And we got audio that we'll get to in a little bit, too. By the way, if you want Bednar's thoughts on what needs to be better with the power play.
What needs to be better on the power play?
Everything.
The zone entries are becoming predictable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's easy to see what the Stars are doing. They're pushing to the side that McKinnon carries the puck in on, forcing the issue, smothering the man he gives it to.
Unless and then the cross-ice passes. My God, would you just advance it and move toward the
I
net.
can't remember the last time the Dallas Stars, I mean, this sounds, I'm being facetious here, but them D-to-D in the offensive zone doesn't really happen. If a defenseman gets the puck on his stick, you know where that puck is going? Deep.
Yeah.
It's either going on net or it's going behind the net. Go fetch.
Right.
And let's get our cycle going. You're going D-to-D. You're going seam passes. You're doing this kind of thing. You need to pound that at the front of the cage.
Well, there's something to that, Moj, that I
mean,
want to get to.
you've got Bichel out there. You've got Petrovic out there. Now, do they go D-to-D? Of course they do. But they don't go back and forth. If they do go D-to-D, that puck is being sent deep, end of story.
Right.
And again, it's because they don't have the talent to dance around and fire it down the slot or look for an opening. They don't have that talent. But you know what they're doing? That they're just playing lunch pail hockey, and it's working.
So we got this game to discuss today. We have the NFL draft tonight, first round. Schefter just had something this morning, by the way, regarding the Broncos and what they could be doing at number 20 tonight. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. The Nuggets have game 3 against the Clippers and a chance to take the series lead back from them. So
Can I get some good news?
I don't got it for you yet. Do you have good news? Can you help me? I'm hurting this morning. Hurting a lot. I'm with you, Vic. You said this yesterday that it felt like, hey, if Gabe is going in and
You
that
gotta
crowd,
win.
you got yes.
And I stand by it.
Yep.
You got to win that game.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Moj, we were hanging out. We were watching the game with the Bear, and she was into it. She was wearing a Nichushkin shirt, her sweater, and Nichushkin scores first, and we're partying up there. That move by Val, by the way, holy moly, was that a move?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I'm looking over, and I'm saying, this game, I'm going to win this game 6-0.
It was a great move.
Leaped there afterwards.
Look, Ottinger can be beaten, but I think you've made it too. You started to do a really good job in the net front presence later on in the game. We'll get to more of this as we go along, but you need that from the drop of the puck.
So we'll get back to this in a bit. And again, there's some news from Adam Schefter this morning regarding the Broncos, what they could be doing at number 20. We'll get to it next.